back to my channel Urban Tropical. So we are going to talk about another exciting plant, and the name is Dieffenbachia Reflector. The reason I love this plant because of this very jungly pattern on it, and I don't think other plants have this kind of vibrancy and how big the leaves are. So there is another one you can have, it's called a Tropic Snow or Sublime. They have really big leaves. I'm not really Dieffenbachia fan at all, even though it's such a easy to care for house plants, such a low maintenance, low light, it ticks all the boxes. But for me, it was never the plant to have. But this one is one of my favorite plants now. It came to the market few years back, but it wasn't easy to get hold of, and I think it was quite expensive at that time as well. But now there are a few suppliers offering this plant, and I was after it for good 6 to 8 months, and eventually I have got it. So these plants are normally low light plants, but when you start to have these amazing variegation on the leaves, then these plants are not low light plants at all, because they struggle to make a fruit, because the dark green is so little on the plant, so they need a medium light. So this plant loves medium light. In low light, it will start to lose the variegation, it will not be vibrant, the leaves will become smaller. So you have all these issues to consider if you end up putting this in the wrong location. So it's a key to put the right plant in the right location. I have this in low light, and the way I compensate for light is with the artificial light. All I need to do is turn it for 3 to 4 hours a day, and that will keep it growing and that will keep it healthy. So if the plant is healthy, you feel happier because you don't have to worry about any of the problems. So for lighting, it likes indirect medium light, and in terms of watering, it's not really needy in terms of, like, if you compare to amazingly stunning foliage plants, they're so fussy how you water. So this plant, you can neglect it, you can let it bone dry, it's absolutely fine. It will start to have droopy leaves, you will know that you need to water your plant, but it's fine. It's a really strong contender if you like to have easy care for plants. The key thing is, do not let your plant sit in water. That will lead to root rot, and no matter how strong the plant is, root rot does not really leave anyone out. It just kills any plant you can think of if you end up overwatering your plant. So you can have a really good drainage in your soil and just water it whenever you think it's getting completely dry, and it's good. The other amazing thing about this one is it's really easy to propagate, and it starts to get a lot of inside, if you see. And if you want to make more plants, you can simply lift it up and separate the small ones from the parent plant, just to make sure that you get enough rooting with it. Otherwise the ones offshoot, they will not do that well. So it's extremely easy to propagate. You can make more plants out of it, and I just want to say it's such a easy to care for plant, and it just looks so nice, and it doesn't really get quite pests easily. But again, if you have any pest in the house and you put it next to your plant, of course it's going to get it. But normally Dieffenbachia is quite trouble-free, low-maintenance plants. And if you are after jungle look, and I just think it's a must-have a plant. In terms of feeding, house plants are not huge on feeding. You just need to make sure that when they are growing, you just give them some feed. So in my soil mixture, I have worm castings which add aeration, and the plant can take the natural nutrition whenever it needs. When it comes to late spring, I start to give it a seaweed extract feed, which is really natural. And it doesn't tell you how much to use for indoor. So whatever you see for outdoor, I half that. I actually even go a bit more than half in a dilution, so that I don't over fertilize my plants. The signs you will see of over fertilization, it will start to have brown tips, or the leaves will start to turn brown. And again, so there are always telltale signs for you to know what is wrong with your plant. But again, this plant is super easy to care for as long as you do not put it in low light, and it gets really bushier. And this stem here, it gets just taller and taller. So if you give it a really good care, eventually you will have a kind of semi-tree in your house. And how awesome would that be? I really hope that you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.